Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Love of Fighting podcast. I'm Asha, and we are joined by our favorite co-host, Ollie Stanley. Ollie, how we doing, my friend?
Very good, mate.
What's up? Any fight news? I've got a lot of fight news for you.
I haven't been on Instagram that much. I think there's a really good fight. I forgot. It's someone from South Africa. I keep forgetting his name.
Did you forget his name? Come on, I just posted about him. His name is Dracus du Plessis. He is 27 years old. He's the pride of South Africa, and I believe he is the best middleweight from South Africa. I mean, look at his fighting style. Always entertaining. Always fan favorite, entertaining, all that stuff. And look at his record. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and he's won 12 out of 13 fights. 2-0 in the UFC. He says he wants to be the first ever South African-based, born and bred UFC champion. This is amazing. And looking at his last 2 fights, I mean, this guy's incredible. We haven't seen much of his ground game, but in the video that I posted, his grappling is really good. And he's fighting Andre Muniz, who is coming off an impressive submission win over the jiu-jitsu legend, former UFC, former Strikeforce middleweight champion, Jacare Souza. Broke his arm. First to submit Jacare Souza. And he's fighting Dracus du Plessis, who's got the ground game. His ground game is sharp. His stand-up, I believe, is better. He's got a better stand-up. And on the ground, I think he can do well. And they're fighting at UFC 269 on the same card as Poirier, Oliveira, which might not happen. It's being targeted. And my prediction for that fight is I got Dracus du Plessis by second round knockout or TKO, maybe a submission. I don't know. I got because he's a finisher. I think he'll get the finish. What do you think?
My boy Andre, submission round 1.
You're kidding, right? Are you willing to bet $20 on it?
No.
All right, $20. You got me. Yeah. So listen. I put a Q&A on my Instagram.
I'll shout you out on all platforms if he doesn't get submitted in round 1.
Okay. If he gets a submission, the knockout in the second round, if Dracus gets the submission, why am I keep saying submission? Knockout in the second round, you give me a shout out on all social media platforms, all of them. And if Andre Muniz gets a sub in the first round, I'll give you shout out on every social media platform that I have. Deal?
Deal.
Deal. Shake my hand. So I put up a Q&A on my Instagram, and a lot of good questions came up.
I forgot.
What? What'd you forget?
I forgot about the Q&A.
I put up a Q&A myself. I knew you forgot because I checked your story and it wasn't there. So I put it up myself, and a lot of great questions came up. Actually, some man on Instagram, he said Cyril Gahn versus John Jones. How do I see that happens? How that goes on? And I believe that's a tough fight for both men. I think John might edge out a split decision because looking at the video that he posted of him kicking, he's slow. Did you see that video? You said that clip.
Yeah.
He looks slow. But his wrestling, I think he's got superior wrestling. Not grappling, as you all know, wrestling and grappling is different. I don't have to explain that every time that I'm here, but I'm going to say it as fast as I can. Wrestling is grab and hold, take down, mauling, elbows. But grappling is taking someone down. You can hold them down and smash them with punches and elbows, and you can, change your positions and look for submissions. When you do that, that's grappling. But when you take someone down and hold him there and just maul him like Khabib does, that's wrestling. So John's wrestling is better. He's superior in wrestling. But overall, grappling, I might give it to Cyril Gahn. Because he's got better submissions. Power, I don't know who I'm going to give it to, but Cyril doesn't have that knockout power. I mean, he TKO'd Derek Lewis, but he didn't put him out cold. But still, the power is the same. The speed goes to Cyril, but the ground game, the wrestling goes to John. So John's got the experience. He's got the wrestling. The power is the same. The championship mentality. John's got that championship mentality. And he's got better cardio, I believe. He's going to look better in the championship rounds.
You honestly believe John Jones will only win a split decision?
Yeah. Because stylistically, looking at the fighters, they're the same. They don't have that big of a knockout power. They don't have that knockout power. Let's be honest here. I mean, John knocked out DC with a head kick. Cyril, I mean, he landed many shots on Jairzinho and couldn't put him away. He landed many shots on Volkov and couldn't put him away. Derek Lewis is different. I think Derek Lewis, he went down. He went down because he was hurt pretty bad. His eye was hurt. He was punching him in the eye. Cyril Gahn was. But I think the power is the same. The only reason I'm saying the power is the same is look at what happened to Volkov in the fight with Derek Lewis at Curtis Blades. Look at what happened to Jairzinho in the fight with Francis Ngannou. He got knocked out, but Cyril couldn't knock him out. Maybe he was trying to, keep the cardio going. He wanted to maintain the cardio to go 5 rounds, and he did that with relative ease. But if John is able to go fast and push the pace and make the fight far.
Let me cut you short. John Jones by knockout round 4.
John Jones by knockout round 4. I don't see a knockout. I see it if that happens. If John gets a knockout, that's a technical knockout. I think if that happens, John takes him down, holds him there, and lands shit ton of elbows till the referee stops the fight. If he gets a TKO, that's how it's going to happen. But I'm gonna see it. I see John Jones winning by decision. A split decision might happen because of the judges, because of dumbass judges, the donkeys. But I see John winning by decision because he's got the wrestling, he's got the experience. But by the way, speaking of experience, Cyril Gahn doesn't give a crap about experience. Derek Lewis has 3 times the fights that Cyril Gahn has. So does Alexander. And he didn't give a crap about him. He dismantled him. But John, he's got that championship mentality. He looked better in the championship rounds against Dominic Reyes, where Dominic gassed out. He was tired. And looking at that, I think that's the reason I think John will win. He's going to start the third round. He's going to push the pace. He's going to go fast. Cyril might get tired. Uh, we haven't seen him go 5 rounds like banging in the championship rounds, like throw maybe like 100 strikes per round. So yeah, that's the reason I'm saying John Jones is gonna win. Yeah, and one guy asked me another question. He said, if you could bring back a fighter who's retired right now and give him one last fight, who would it be? I want you to go first.
Retired fighters. It's gonna have to be Henry Cejudo versus Petr Yan. I think he's the toughest opponent at bantamweight. I think him and Aljamain Sterling have similar styles, like wrestlers with good striking. And I think he's already fought TJ, so what's the point of that? And who else? Aldo, they were scheduled to fight, fell through. Rob Font would be fun, but I think he'll beat him. Corey Sanhagen, he's going to wrestle fuck him.
If Henry Cejudo comes back, I think I would love to see him fight Volkanovski. I would love to see him fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because his nickname is Triple C. He's won 2 gold medal. 2 belts and a gold medal. He calls himself Triple C. He can win. He can go up there and beat Volkanovski, be a UFC triple champion, and a C4 all around the combat sports. And I feel like that's a good fight. But if I want to see a fighter come back, a retired fighter who
all right. I've just put a Q&A up and I've already got a question.
Well, let me finish. If I want a fighter to really come back and I think he will do good in coming back, it's gonna be Michael Bisping. Fans are gonna hate me. The viewers are gonna hate me. Why didn't you say Khabib? Khabib, who is he gonna fight? Khabib, who is he gonna fight? Should he fight Charles Oliveira, the champion? If he wins, he's 30-0. He's not gonna fight again. But I want to see Michael Bisping one more time in Manchester, arena packed, and I want to see that fight.
Against who?
If it should be a veteran, it should be a guy who's not a champion, who's not a top-ranked fighter, because if he beats a top-ranked fighter, he's gonna take his ranking, and when he fully retires and he's like, I'm not gonna fight anymore, this was the last fight, it's gonna be a waste of time, and the rankings is gonna be messed up for a while. But I think if he wants to fight again, I would love to see him against Sam Alvey, Ed Herman. Who we got in the middleweight division? A real veteran. I would love to see him against
You boom.
Yeah, Sam Alvey or maybe a light heavyweight, Ed Herman. Who knows? I don't see this one.
Give him uh, nah. Yeah, Sam Ali.
And Sam Alvey, speaking of Sam Alvey, I think Dana said he will get another shot, another fight. Uh, because let's be honest here, his last fight was a close fight. The fight before that he got finished, but the fight before that he won. The Ryan Spann fight he won. A lot of fights he won, and I think that's the reason he's getting another fight. I would love to see him fight Michael Bisping, but Mike will not come out of retirement. Every time he's posting a freaking what's it called? Uh, picture of him in training, he's like, I'm training, I'm back in training, and he's putting it out there. I'm not looking for a comeback fight. But if he really wants to come back, I would love to see him fight Sam Alvey. And Sam, he's looking for a win. And if he's looking for a win, why not fight Michael Bisping if that ever happens? Which I don't think that will happen. So,
Alright. So my question was predictions for Usman Colby 2.
oh my God. This card, oh my God. It's heaven. It's a heaven for a fight fan. I mean, who gives a shit about going to hell, going to heaven? I don't give a crap. I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight. Who gives a shit about hell and heaven? I want to see that fight. I want to see Colby Covington fight Kumar Usman. In this first fight, that was really close. If it had gone to a judge's decision, I think it would end in a draw. I think it would have ended in a.
I'm pretty sure we discussed this before.
Yeah, we discussed this before, but this new fight, we haven't seen that much out of Colby. He's only fought once. But Kamar, he's fought, 4 times already? Masvidal?
No, 3 times. Masvidal, Burns, Masvidal. Well, we can't interpret anything out of Masvidal because he's Masvidal. But the Burns performance. If Colby loses by knockout, Burns is the second best welterweight on the planet.
I kind of disagree. Yeah. So the Masvidal fight, let me explain this to you. Usman, the first fight, Masvidal did good on the feet. Every stand-up exchange on the feet, Masvidal was doing. And he was getting out-wrestled, out-grappled. The only reason he was knocked out in the second round, he said it himself. He said, the only reason I got knocked out was because I was worried about him taking me down, so I had my hands low. And, Kamar Usman is the Francis Ngannou of the welterweight division. And in top 50.
No.
He's got that power. Look at what he did to Gilbert Burns. Look at what he did to, what's his name? Masvidal. He's got that power, all right? Don't be biased here. I don't want to say anything.
No.
Power. He's got the power. Listen, he's got the power, and if he lands, Colby's got a good chin. He took shots better than Gilbert. He took shots better than Masvidal. Better than Tyron Woodley. That's the reason this fight is really interesting. And Dana put Colby against Usman for a second time rather than Leon Edwards, who's on a 10-fight win streak. The only reason he did that is Colby's wrestling is better. His stand-up his technique is better than Usman. His volume, his cardio, and his pace is better than Usman. But Usman, what he did in the first fight, he was doing great, but stand-up exchanges, Colby was doing better. He was edging in the stand-up exchanges. And the only reason he made that fight is because I think Kamaru will try to wrestle him this time a little bit. Don't you think that? Don't you think he's gonna wrestle him this time a little bit more?
No. I'm being honest here. I think Colby's a better
Yeah,
wrestler.
Kobe. We haven't seen that. I mean, if the first fight was on the ground, if the first fight was a wrestling match,
Well,
could
Colby went to D1 and
guess
Usman.
guess who else went to D1? Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley is a D1 wrestler.
I
And look at what
don't
Kamaru did.
care about that man.
Guys, I'm really sorry. Ollie's being a little bit biased today. He just came from school. I don't know, he got an F or something. He's just being a little bit biased here. I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. Kobe, we haven't seen that. I mean, when you haven't seen anything, you can't say that he's better. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But for my predictions for that fight card,
Be careful what you say.
I'm picking Kobe. I'm picking Kobe. I'm picking.
Good boy. Don't know why I said that.
No, I'm picking Kobe because his striking is gonna be better. If Usman tries to take him down, I think his takedown defense will hold up. His pace and cardio is better, and I think Kobe will get a decision. It's gonna be a close decision, but he's gonna get a decision. For the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko, Black Widow, is gonna is gonna knock Murphy out in the second round, maybe third round. And Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. Oh my God, I've been waiting for Nick Diaz for a long, long time. And let me tell you something.
He gets slept. I'm joking.
Don't be biased here, you dumbass.
Right, I need to stop being biased. Right, I got.
I don't know who I'm gonna pick. I'm not gonna pick anyone on that fight. I'm gonna be honest.
Come on, I'm gonna check your verdict real quick and see what you've been saying.
Alright. So, as you know,
You better. Right.
today is my. Where's my tickets? Where are my tickets? Where are my gifts? Come on. Oh, where's my gift?
Huh?
Where's my gift?
Hang on. So you picked Nick Diaz decision.
The only reason I picked that because there's no way to pick a draw in that, so I picked Nick Diaz. I'm looking at Robbie Lawler, his last four or five fights.
So did I.
His last five fights, he lost. And I think the only reason I did that is because there's no way to not pick that. And I think you can do it. And I don't know. I'm new to verdict, so, there's no way to pick a draw. And I don't think you can just not pick a fight. So I just picked Nick Diaz by decision. If he wins, I'm going to get XP. If he doesn't, I don't care. But it's going to be a fun fight. I'm really hyped for that fight. I'm more hyped for that fight than Murphy Shevchenko.
I just want to see. We don't know how Nick Diaz is. Like, I've seen footage of him and he looks stiff.
I don't know, man. Can we get away with the Nick Diaz questions, please? My brain is not processing anything right now. It's just, my brain just blew up thinking about the fight. Can we just get away with this question?
We're fans, so.
Yeah.
Fans, so we get to witness the violence. Hopefully it's a good fight. It's 5 rounds, right?
It's 5 rounds. It's great. It's gonna be a great fight. I predict a great fight for the fans. That's what I'm gonna predict.
Yeah, I see them going the whole 5. Well, they will.
Yeah, whole 5. But I don't know. The cardio is gonna be on Nick's side. Grappling is gonna be on Nick's. stand up. The first fight was on Nick's side. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm so
Don't ask me,
excited. Wait, how many days
don't
now
ask
then?
me about
It's
Diaz
coming.
versus again. Please don't DM me about that fight. Please don't reply to my stories about that fight. Please don't tag me on the prediction picks or whatever you call it. Please don't talk to me about this fight. Because my
We're just
brain
going
is...
with. We think Nick Diaz is going to win because Robbie's on a couple of fight losing streak. He hasn't won. He's been dominated. Nick, we haven't seen him, so we don't know. Last time we seen him, I think it was Anderson Silva.
Silva, where Anderson was on steroids. Respect to Anderson when Anderson was on steroids. But Nick was doing good. So was Anderson, but
That
that's
fight
in the
just
past.
produced the most iconic picture of all time. Nick lying on the floor.
Hey, I'm gonna do something here. For my first fight, I'm gonna do that. I'll do it. For $20, I'll do it.
Where you had the money, man?
We ain't got no money, come on. But hey, when my first fight happens, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lay on the floor. Just like Nick Diaz. I'm gonna scream and stalk them, mother effer. Stalked.
Alright. Do that on pride. Lie on the floor.
Yeah.
You get soccer
Hey,
kicked.
let's get away with the Nick Diaz coaches. Come on.
UFC
Let's
267.
do what?
267.
267. Oh, we've already given our predictions for that fight, so I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna explain anything, and it's on episode 2, I believe, or episode 3. Go check it out. I got Jan Blachowicz by third round TKO, KO. I've got Peter Yan by knockout in the fourth round.
Yes, sir.
Because I think he should finish him this time around. He should finish Aljamain Sterling. And if Aljamain beats Peter Yan in a really good fashion, like dominates him or knocks him out or submits him, that's just gonna prove that Aljamain wasn't faking in that fight and he's a true champion. If he does that, he's just gonna show that he's a great fighter and a great champion. But I'm gonna say Pyorian by fourth round knockout.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other prediction? Questions?
Let me just double check. I don't think so. Nope. Not yet. Anyway.
Yeah. I got
We also
one
got
thing.
more fight news.
What news?
Vittori Paulo Costa.
Tony Paulo Costa. My goodness, that fight is a guaranteed entertainment. I think Paulo Costa is mentally not there yet. He's still making up excuses for that fight, whereas Marvin Vittori is not. I mean, in every interview you go out there, Paulo Costa is talking saying he's gonna beat Adesanya. I wasn't sober. I was hungover. I was drunk. I was this. I was that. But Marvin Vittori, he hasn't said anything about the fight. So I think Marvin mentally is in a better place. Paulo Costa, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna say Marvin Vittori by decision.
Yes, then.
Who have we got?
Marvin Vittori. You did.
I mean, because listen, I don't know if Paulo is doing great mentally because he's a great fighter, great athlete. Because of one, you shouldn't say that this guy sucks. So because I'm saying that Marvin Vittori because mentally I think Marvin is in a better place. Yeah, that's my prediction. Marvin Vittori by UD. So let's get away from the fight questions a little bit. Today is my birthday, like I said. I want to answer a little bit of my personal questions. If you got any, go on. I'm listening.
No.
So yeah, one thing I discovered, I was about to go to work. I'm working early in the morning.
Today?
At 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. I'm supposed to go to work. I woke up for no reason at 7:30, and I was going through my phone, and I discovered that I shared birthday with Jose Aldo and Bobby Green. How cool is that? How cool is that?
Alright, I'm not. Very cool. It's very cool. Yeah.
It's cool because I love Jose Aldo and Bobby Green. And Bobby Green's got a fight coming up against Ally Quinta.
Yep.
Well, how do you see that fight going with Al?
Bobby Green decision. I think Ally hasn't had a fight in ages. When he loses, he's pretty dominant. Not gonna lie. Like Khabib. Khabib was the man of flying knees. No offense to Khabib. That is a rare thing.
That's the thing with Khabib. Let's say I got Bobby Green by decision. I think his stand-up is going to be better, and his ground game is going to stop the takedowns. Well, we don't know. Well, Khabib, the only reason a lot of people got confident about beating him, especially Michael Chandler, was Alex Quinta's takedown defense.
Oh yeah.
Because he defended many takedowns, and Michael Chandler's ground game is 100% better. His wrestling and takedown defense is 100% better than Al. And his stand-up is better than Khabib, with respect to Khabib. His stand-up is better, where he's got the best, I think he's got the best wrestling in all of Habib's 29, against all of Habib's 29 opponents. I mean, who fought Khabib with Michael Chandler's wrestling? I'll give you a minute. Who fought Khabib with that wrestling type? Who fought him?
Oh, what's
Nobody.
his name? Oh, I forgot him. Oh,
Joyce Tiba?
yeah. The ball guy, small.
Listen,
Fighting
Tiba.
PFL right now.
Yeah, he beat Rory McDonald in a robbery.
You love robberies.
A really bad robbery. So that was Khabib, who was new to the UFC and all that. And Gleison Tibau, he's not the cleanest fighter we've seen on the roster. He's not the cleanest fighter we've seen on the roster, but I think Michael Chandler's wrestling I think his wrestling is a little bit superior than all the Habib's, let's say, last 10 opponents. His wrestling is better. He's not as great as Habib in wrestling, but I think he can stop the takedowns. His stand-up is better, with all respect to Habib. But when you're fighting Habib, it's not just to stop the takedowns and land big shots. It's how do you deal with the pressure of Habib? How do you deal with the chain wrestling? How do you deal with fatigue when you're in the fifth round? You're getting mauled. You're on your back. Habib is pounding your face through the damn canvas. It's how you deal with those. It's not just how you stop the takedowns and how you land the bomb to put him away. I don't think that. So I don't think that's the way. I mean, Michael Chandler says he can beat Khabib. I would love to see that fight, but still.
All right, I'm gonna let you go, my friend.
Yeah, I've got to go do some personal shit. Uh, Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of podcast. We've got a guest next week, September 11th. We got a guest. His name is Big Mo. He's the youngest announcer in the game. I hope
And
you can be there,
your
Ollie.
boy will not be there. I'm out. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I want you to be there because I want you to meet him. I really want you to meet Big Mo. So we got a Big Mo next week, September 11th, coming to you on YouTube. Check it out. It's gonna be fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ollie, do your thing.